because in his omniscience, he knows best. So in this study, I want us to hold on to this truth that it doesn't matter how I feel about it, I must still honor God with my obedience. Is that all right? That's one of the things I want us to walk away with. Here's something else. I don't get to cheat God's process for my purpose. There's a process that will ultimately get me to my purpose. But I don't get to cheat the process. Here's another way of saying that. I don't get to skip steps. There are no shortcuts. There's a process that God has for our purpose. And here's the truth of it, y'all. If I skipped steps, I'd miss out on some of what when I was younger than 21, I couldn't wait to be 21. There was some benefits to becoming 21. And you were in such a hurry to get to 21 that by the time you got there, you found out it really wasn't all that. And if you're not careful, you bypassed 13 and 15 and 17 and 19 and a lot of good stuff trying to get to 21. Concerns me about people that on Monday can't wait for Friday. You missed all of the good stuff in the process to even be able to appreciate Friday because Wednesday had some stuff that you needed. The same is true for our entire lives. That if we're not careful, we're in such a hurry to get to the destination that we miss what God is doing and the nuggets that we are obtaining in the process. So you don't get to cheat God's process on the way to your purpose. I'm going to Bible. After I say this, I want to say this last thing. We're going to tap out before God does. That term, tapping out, might be unfamiliar to you. It is something that happens in a wrestling match or in a fight when one person has the advantage over the other person and they have them in a position that if they don't tap out, something may snap, something may break, or you may pass out. What I want to say this evening is, we'll tap out before God does. Let me say it the way let me tell you the way my dad used to say it. My dad used to say, you're going to get tired before I do. And even though we have preferences, and even though sometimes we can be stiff-necked and stubborn, I promise you we'll tap out before God does. Is that all right? Come on, let's go to the book of Jonah, chapter 1, and see what we can learn about the dangers of disobedience. Jonah chapter 1, for today's purposes, I have the King James Version. You follow along whatever version you may have. Jonah chapter 1 says, now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it. Why? For their wickedness is come up before me. The word of the Lord comes to Jonah. Jonah, we know as a prophet. He is one of the minor prophets, and and the word of the Lord comes to him. Another way of saying that is God spoke to Jonah, and God spoke to Jonah as it pertains to, write this down, write the word cause, C-A-U-S-E. Jonah there's a cause for Jonah. The cause is Nineveh. There's a city by the name of Nineveh. Somebody say Nineveh. Now Nineveh is the capital of the Assyrian Empire. Nineveh, in biblical days, would be equivalent to our present day New York City or Los Angeles, California. It was the largest and longest city in the Assyrian Empire. And the text says that it was a great city, but its wickedness had come up